Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you're an electrician, we've got a career for you. It's a career with employer-paid health care and retirement benefits. Join the IBEW Local 265 family. Work for one of our NECA contractors. Come to our job fair on August 3rd from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Holiday Inn, 2500 Tamarind Ridge Road in Southwest Lincoln. For more information, call Mike Murray at 402-875-1034. That's 402-875-1034.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Thanks to cloud cover, those temps were a bit on the cool side this afternoon. As we head into tonight, we'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies, an overnight low down to around 71. We will see a chance of showers and thunderstorms very late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Clearing skies expected by tomorrow afternoon with a high of around 85. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The ham bone. You know what I'm saying? You got to start cramping up, man. This is Old School on a Tuesday, gloomy but low temp Tuesday, August 1st. So we are in official countdown. There's 30 days and pretty much 29 days to the first game. Huskers roll up 80 to 35 to Minneapolis and go ahead and bust their head open to the white meat. This is Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat and every type of cut. Day 2 of camp. The nostalgia is there. The newness is there. Everybody's still working out the kinks, obviously. Some kinks are, some kinks that they have by some individual players are kinked up. And, look, everybody is dealing with this. This is not just a Nebraska problem. You're going to have kids that at Ohio State, at Minnesota, at whatever college that you could pick that are going to, be suspended or kind of be on a pitch count, or it might not be coming in overweight, but overweight, or it might be just, you just haven't got back to the physical strength or condition that you need. And it might be just because you didn't attack your rehab, good enough. So these are things are not solely on Nebraska's plate. Now it's different because you'd like to have at this point, for these kids that are on the, still on the roster, right? At this point, the feelings for the past staff, that's got to be gone. And I get it. Like, look, man, I was blessed and fortunate enough that we did not have a lot of turnover. That was probably one of the most appealing things for me to come to Nebraska was the continuity in the staff. And that led to, obviously, the continuity in winning for 30, 40 years, 20, 30 years prior to I got there and, however many after. Versus when Nick Saban and those guys recruited me, my dad was like, that dude's going to be a head coach at a bigger college program or an NFL thing, just because he felt like that's just where he was going. And he kind of maybe knew some background. So that's a little bit different. But at the end of the day, whether it's like, you miss your old coach and you miss the old ways or anything like that, or you're teeter-totting on the whether you're in or out, all that stuff, all those feelings, the great thing about football and sports, all those feelings go away when you're on the field.
I'll ask this because a lot of that's winning mentality, winning standard operation. And my curiosity is, where did you get it? Like, because that's a thing that not everybody has in the program. Nobody. You were talking earlier about your clock. Your internal clock is just ringing loudly because it's time.
Yeah.
And your body knew, your mind knew, hey man, I got, whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever the amount of time it's going to take you to get ready for today, you'd have been ready.
Right. Yeah.
You'd been ready.
Yeah.
Where does it come from?
Well, I mean, like I said, I was fortunate enough to come here and the standard was already set. So I just kind of just fit in, instead of trying to fit out, I guess, or buck the system. I found a way to fit in and then work it my own way that made it advantageous for me to be successful. Right. And, I listen to what people say, come in and find somebody that does it right. And then, take everything they do and then kind of do it your way. But just do the bases right, and really stayed out of my own way. So that's where that part came from.
Okay.
But I will tell you, I have played for coaches I did not particularly like, both professionally and personally.
Can I give the initials?
No. Well, these coaches, I've never talked about. And I will say this: there's probably coaches that have coached me that didn't like me for whatever reason, and that's fine. But I never got on the field and said, you know what, I'm not going to do my job because I feel this way for a coach.
Right.
Because I felt too much, love for my teammates and wanted to play the game the right way.
Yourself too.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you got to go out there and play. I don't think that's the case here, but I'm just saying, if there's any anxiety of like, man, and sometimes when you're exposed to something new, and exposed to something, in some cases for individuals, so drastically new, which is like, hey, if you're supposed to eat, if you're supposed to check in and eat every time you have a meal or whatever you are supposed to do, or your workout, or you're supposed to finish every single exercise on a workout, or whatever the stipulations are, it will be hard to do, because if you've been doing something one way for 4 or 5 years, and in let's just say Matt Rule got here in January, right? Because I mean, nothing really happened in December. So just say it's only been 6 or 7 months. It hasn't been a lot of time to kind of unwind 4 years of bad habits, good habits, or indifferent habits. And if you have, and when you're doing something to a T, right, means there is no leeway. There isn't like, okay, I did it 6, so the other 4 are good. You have to do it right every single time.
You went from whoever your high school coach was. So you went from your dad and your uncles to your high school coach. And you did it in 3 months. And then you went from your high school coach to the GOAT.
Right.
And you did it in 3 months.
Right.
You know why? You have a choice.
I didn't have a choice, but here at DP, even though I'm on the microphone, unlike a lot of people that are on other spaces on the microphone, I'll tell you the good and bad.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's for me. You talk about that, right? So I had a very strong dad, very strong support system. My dad, my uncle, my grandma, my grandfather, my mom, cousins, and aunts. So I had a very good village that kind of pushed me. But I will tell you this. So my senior year, Mike Grant is a great coach, and Bud Grant's his dad, and he coached my dad. So the family connection is there. I'm going into my senior year. So in that summer, I had a really good AAU, circuit or whatever the heck you call it.
Yeah.
And we did good in 7-on-7. So I started getting, those like letters and stuff. Right. So, Jay Foreman got a little bit of the big head, team workouts were, let's just say they were in the morning or whatever. Now I did have a job, so I had a legitimate excuse, but I was I kind of felt like at times I was working around it a little bit. I wasn't making exceptions for the football team first, right? And so, but I'm still working out though. It's not like I'm sitting around eating, but I haven't been able to be there. And, I'm, I guess somewhat high profile or whatever. And it was only like a week. I missed like 4 of the workouts. Coach Grant must have called my dad, right? And some of the other players must have brought it attention to Coach Grant, right? Now, granted, I was a captain and I hadn't missed any workouts prior to that, but it was like a week that I didn't. And I was feeling myself a little bit, you know what I mean? But Chuck Foreman he broke that down real quick. Okay. I mean, real quick. And it was when I talked about when he said this could be a democracy until you make it a dictatorship, we even bypassed that. We went to a straight dictatorship. He said, this is the way. He's like, I understand, but I don't care. Right? Because I was explaining to him like why I hadn't been to Beaver because I was working, right? Because I had to, pay for my car and insurance, and that's the way the deal was. But he was like, well, then you better either find another job and either they change your schedule or you go in there and change your schedule or you go find another job. He's like, there is no if, ands,
irreplaceable standards.
Right.
Irreplaceable, immovable standards. And you can, whatever the program is, you can make excuses. Now, I'm fully intrigued by the decisions made to make decisions on players who have not honored all of the winning season. It's not the off season. It's the improvement in winning season.
Yeah.
And if you've made the choice not to do the things that were required of you that honor the new coach, the new program, the new teammates, right, but most importantly, the newest version of you. Like this ain't about the other stuff. It's these players didn't do for them what they were worthy of. Like they didn't do for them. I always tell a player, look, my rules are one thing, but this is you. This is your legacy, your name, your reputation, your work. Yeah. Why would you sell yourself short? Why would you do that to yourself? And ultimately, it's a statement of, okay, well, this was not somebody that, drum roll, that word the coaches use, trust. I cannot trust you. You earn trust by the work, as you say, your greatest asset is availability, and then the work you put in play.
Yeah, I mean, it was a learning lesson for me and my dad. And the thing Coach Grant was telling me, he was like, look, you are our best player, so you have to be our best leader. I mean, we met, and I went to him because I was kind of mad, right? Because I was like, dude, I got a job, I got bills to pay. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And he understood that. But he said the reason why it's a big deal for you, because this is a year that could be a great year for us as a program. You're going where you're going. You need to take these dudes with you, and they want you here. They want to be
number 2 returning tackler, right, and the guy that was penciled in as a connection to the new, from the old to the new. The guy that was supposed to come in and say,
it's not
be the on the field coach, locker room coach.
Yeah, but he's not dead in the water. I think the big, sometimes you do things like this or make decisions like this to get the best out of them. I remember a coach, I had a real good year, and I got a new coach. And anything at times something new, you kind of, especially in the league, in the NFL, you want to kind of like, you get on the defensive, right? Because the way coaches are, they want to bring in their guys and all that. And so and you heard about the coaching and you hear the rumors and stuff like that, even though I played well, but I had enough self-awareness. I played well and I think this might've been the year that I was first alternate in the Pro Bowl, but I'm on a crappy team. That don't mean tiddly poo. That's what these dudes are dealing with. Okay. You could play well, but you ain't on a good team. Now, is that fair? No. That's the reality. That's the harsh reality. I had a meeting with him the very first time I met him. Now, he did the whole thing, family and all that. I mean, I was like, look, man. I said, look, dude, let's get down to business. You called me, and now I'm coming here to meet you. The pleasantries are fine. You can get to know, ask me about my dad and all that. Now, granted, he had at one time coached at the Hurricanes, but he sat down and we spent 25 minutes to 30 minutes, and he like put up all my worst plays over the last 2 years. Now, I walked out of there hot as Hades. I called my dad, both my uncles, so it was bad, right? Yep. But after sitting back, he knew what that effect that was going to do to me. And so, and plus he changed the whole way that we played our scheme. And he told me that you got to relearn everything. So, which was also a challenge. Why do I need to relearn everything? And I led the league in tackles. Why do I need to relearn everything? And I'm second in the league in tackles. Like, you need to be worrying about the pass rush or something. Well, the thing is that he was saying underneath the surface that you can't say in the first meeting or this. he's trying to do it to take me to another level.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, and then, and I found that out later. So this might be hopefully a situation they're trying to get the best out of him.
And that the Navy saying that all boats in the water, you can't have a sinker be the leader. You just can't. If you can get your leaders to elevate, everybody beneath them elevate as well.
Right.
That's just how it works. And so we know there's movement happening. We get to pay attention now.
Yeah, I mean it's an ongoing thing, and it's just one of those things that comes out of camp and stuff like that. It'll be something else, something else to happen. I mean, there's plenty of stuff that we're going to talk about. You got that, you got Fleeks, you got Hood, who would I assume be in the mix. He came from Georgia, so he would have somewhat be in the mix, especially with the injury history at tackle, or guard or anywhere. He just maybe it would have been in the rotation. Is battling some ailments, Ty Robinson spoke and Nick Heinrich spoke yesterday. So, they look pretty good and how that goes as far as his defense goes, because now it's time to gel. This is the time where you're working for the next essentially 23 days to put your best forward. Was it 85 that goes on the road? You got to find your best 85.
Put them distractions down.
Yeah,
they all got to be put down.
Yeah, we're going to see, man. It's going to be interesting to see this first week. But we're going to go to break and come right back and dive more into that stuff and, get DP's thoughts on some audio and Austin as well. This is Jay Foreman, DP. Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and Jay. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're an electrician, we've got a career for you. It's a career with employer-paid health care and retirement benefits. Join the IBEW Local 265 family. Work for one of our NECA contractors. Come to our job fair on August 3rd from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Holiday Inn, 2500 Tamarind Ridge Road in Southwest Lincoln. For more information, call Mike Murray at 402-875-1034. That's 402-875-1034.
Proud to be voted Best Vape Shop.
Generation V
Is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just the professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet is just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Join the judgment-free zone today. Deal ends Thursday, August 10th.
See Home Club for details.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and detail, feathers, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Thanks to cloud cover, those temps were a bit on the cool side this afternoon. As we head into tonight, we'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies. An overnight low down to around 71. We will see a chance of showers and thunderstorms very late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Clearing skies expected by tomorrow afternoon with a high of around 85. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
But when you've been losing that long, you got to be thinking outside the box, man. But we are back. You know what I'm saying? The intention, a day like today for like, or the camp, this type of camp for Nebraska is probably, you know, you got to be intent. And, you know, look, man, I don't think the Miles Farmer thing is a big deal. It's only going to be as big as he lets it. He can come back and play. He's a good player.
Yeah.
So it's not like the one thing that ain't gonna never go away is his ability to play football. He just got to get on the field to do it, and you got to make sacrifices to do it, or whatever it is, you know, big, small, or medium that he needs to do to get back on the field. And sometimes you got to go through a little bit of BS to get what you want. And majority of the guys got it going. His situation, I think, is no different than Fleek's coming in significantly overweight. They just didn't meet stipulations, and then you just got to do what you got to do. And you know, the thing is that these kids don't know, and I don't know who the player development or the guy that would call you into the office, because this shouldn't be at this point in time first year position coach or his assistant when you have half of your roster is new, right? 39 came in, so pretty much half of your roster is new. You're bringing in 122 guys to camp, I think, or 120. Okay, so, and you're trying to, you know, Matt Rule is doing something pretty unique, is where he's practicing like 2 practices, right? Young guys so they can get reps. So you're developing guys faster. It's kind of like doing what Osborne did, but you're actually doing it so they can actually give you 100% of your time. It's actually really a good idea. But when you need somebody that's going to be able to call the guys in and kick it to them straight. And if I would say this, if Derek Pearson were to come in my office and you tell me that you want to go to the league, right? Because I'd ask you what your goals are. What are you playing football for? Like, what, you know, I want to find out why you're playing football, what you want to be. Do you just want to just play college and go off? And because look, I play with guys that were just fine being national champions 2 or 3 times, and then they, you know, were off and
some were happy with the jersey.
No,
some were happy walking around.
He wasn't happy with the jersey. He just was. I mean, he knew what his long term or what their long term. They, you know, one's a lawyer. One. I mean, they had. You don't have to go to the pros, right. and he played his heart out. And the toughest dude I ever played with, one of them. So it's not. They weren't just happy being there. But I'd ask you, what you want to do? You know, what do you want to? What's your short term, medium term, with long term plan? And once you start talking about the NFL, then see right there, and then we can really get down and dirty to talk about that. And matter of fact, we could just talk about this as we're at professional football right now. Because if you're accepting NIL money, you are somewhat of a professional. You have signed some sort of contract. So I'd ask you this, man. Like, do you want to maximize your value on and off the field? And they would probably say yes.
Look at him setting GPSs and whatnot, having in-game long vision.
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to maximize your I would say, okay, let's just say that I'm supposed to be giving you an NIL check or potentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I invite all my buddies that they say, hey man, we just sponsored so and so. And you ain't out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna want my money back, man. And not only do I want my money back, I'm gonna go tell somebody else about it too. Because you didn't handle your business. So every decision that you make is not just about you. It's about your pockets. You know what I mean? And you got to get past the fun, and you got to deal with the facts. The facts is you got to do some things in life, man. Forget football. So when I coach basketball, I was like, man, this ain't even about the score. Going to handle itself. This is about bigger than basketball, whether you like it or not. Okay, life ain't fair, and you got to do a lot of things that you don't like to do. I hate doing some stuff, but you got to do what you got to do. Whether you got kids or you got stuff, you got obligations. You got to do what you got to do. What you're being put through right now, if 5 years from now, you won't even be thinking about it. You probably be laughing at it.
You should be.
Well, I mean, yeah, you just
that's
be like,
growth.
Man, right. You be like, man, I could do that again. So if you take it and tack it the right way, listen, if you want to write in his defensive back room, the Newsom didn't get his black shirt. I know, and he deserved one. He deserved one on that day.
Mm-hmm.
But he needed to be a little bit more mature, a little bit more consistent, and they were doing it to get him to raise his level of play even higher than he was playing. And what did he do? Right? I mean, he was mad. I told him, I was like, dude, you should be mad. I'm mad for you because I seen you from the time I started coming down there to today make a lot more strides than some other guys, right? And they might have been grandfathered, but use it as a fuel. Remember this. There's a bigger purpose. And by the 4th, 5th game, he got it, and now look at him. So I said, if you can do it the right way, you can do it. And then, like in the other situation, when you come in significantly overweight, I would be asking for another chance to come in the right way and forget how many receptions I'm getting. Right, I'm gonna do something out of my norm to get the total respect back on the team. So if I got to be the number one gunner, like if I came in camp late and when I ever got in shape and did it, then I'd be number one gunner. And Fleeks is not absolved of this or a new situation. I remember when I was at Nebraska, we had this 300-yard shuttle. We had a guy that couldn't pass it every single day. Number one, he didn't know how to run it. Okay. But you have to have that little thing called figure it out. It's not a star ranking, but you got to figure out how to run it. But he ran it and ran it and ran it until he passed. And actually, we got behind him because we would wait and see if he ran. You know what I mean? But so it's, again, these situations right now are not in games. It's hopefully a small snapshot into some things they didn't do well. And then hopefully you get some bigger snapshots that, hey, what a great story it would be that you make a turnaround. But if you don't start turning it around, and it can't be coach on me, dog, coach is doing this, why you got 10 other dudes in your room that did everything you need to do.
Joe Gibbs used to say this. He would when he had to punish a player, and he had to punish a bunch. He had to punish a bunch. He had Dexter and Rigo. Like he had to do some work. But he would always set down the restriction and then say, prove me wrong. He would say, this is not good enough. Prove me wrong. Show me that you're good enough. Please don't show me that I'm right.
Right.
And it's up to the player. And as you like to say, that's a personal choice.
Yeah.
Joe Gibbs, great coaches, always give that personal choice out loud often.
Yeah, the thing is, a dangerous person, okay? And first of all, you'd rather be, they always say, oh, I'm a dog. You want to be dangerous. You know what I mean? You want to be dangerous. You want to be like a wolf or like something like that, right? You want to be a dude that's a hunter. But a dangerous athlete, right? Any sport is somebody that got something to prove. I'm telling you, those are the dudes you better be, you know, with you. Bud Crawford got something to prove. You've been making me wait for this fight for how many years? I told you 5 years ago, even though you're going to come down 2 weight classes, I'm going to still just give you these hands. I told you this 5 years ago. So he had something to prove that night that when he looked in his eye. So if somebody was something to prove. Now we'll say this, let's play devil's advocate, right? If it's just say both of these players or any player accepts their discipline, rebounds, ends up playing well, right? And you have a coach that can't get over what you did 5 weeks ago, that coach should never coach any sport ever in his life. I don't care. This is any sport, right? Because ultimately, right, if I'm a head coach and say DP's your coach and you know, say you got in some trouble and you know, meet the stipulations and come back, and then he's just not playing you because personally he don't want to play you and you're our best guy, then I lose the trust in him. So if you're meeting with me, Austin, okay, well, make me coach him. Make me discipline him, which I won't because he's a co-coach, but make me make him wrong. Or, you know, you make him wrong, you do that. And I don't think this is the case. I just think they're trying to get the best out of him. And when you come in the first year, it looks, I said this about when Frost came in, and Nick Saban said it, and Kirby Smart did it. The first year you come in, you got to come in with a jackhammer. And everything's got to be on a point. You can always loosen up. It takes a unique personality to crank it up, to do more, because if you come in kind of soft and trying to be all, you know, friends with them, then you don't have a line. There is no line. They'll cross the line too much. And so look, man, there is no favorites. You don't handle it, you gotta go home. You know, you get put in timeout.
Well, and it's the other thing. The part where we haven't even talked about is how it affects people around you, people closest to you, right? And in a group that's been proclaimed the leadership group of all of this team.
What was that, the DBs?
Right?
Man, the DBs can't lead nobody. Nick Heinrich and all them the leaders, man. I don't care what nobody say. Ain't no DB, no.
You don't trust you don't trust Nick Heinrich yet, right? Off
Why?
the injury because he hadn't finished. Him and Luke wasn't there.
But
You were battling. You beat Iowa without those two dudes. So
what does that got to do with anything, though?
Trust, as you said, availability is your greatest asset.
But that doesn't mean that you're not a leader, though.
I'm just here's what I'm going.
No, I can tell you this right now. There ain't a DB that's going to be leading no defense ever.
I would think that Hartzog and
I'm gonna say it again. There ain't no DB that's gonna come in there and be talking to some dudes at 300 pounds. You just sit back there and do your job. Ronnie Lott and all them.
I hear you.
Well, I'm telling you from experience.
You telling me that Darryl Green couldn't get your attention?
He could get my attention.
Okay,
but you ain't leading the whole defense. The leadership on a defense comes from that front seven or whatever they got going on right now.
I'm just going. I watched the cornerback lead a team, a franchise.
I'm going to tell you from experience.
Okay,
from what I know.
Okay,
you can be a leader. I'm not saying that they can't be a leader, but you're not going to control the whole defense. You're going to be a part of it. You're not the tempo setter. You're not in there enough. You're not in the mix.
You saying that Polamalu never led the Steelers defense? I'm
telling you that. You know who did? Potsy, James Ferrier. He's their leader. You know who the other leader was? Casey Hampton. That's right up the gut.
Yeah, text line, Ed Reed.
Yeah. You know who was in front of Ed Reed? Ray Lewis. You know who was in front of him? Saragusa. You know who else was up there? Sam Adams. I read Reed. They were. I'm not saying
for this team in its entire offseason, the one group that people had a collective calm about.
That's different though. That's different. Experience and confidence and leadership are two different things.
I'm not going to. What I would say is, what worries me is what the rest of the defensive backs who had a high level of connection and competency, got rattled yesterday.
Oh yeah,
like they got rattled.
I mean, it's no different than somebody getting cut. I mean, hey, you do get rattled. Everybody, first of all, everybody get rattled. I agree with you. If there's one unit that you could sleep somewhat well at night, was the defensive backs because of the returning players and the depth that they've had, the depth of returning players. and the additions that they had, you got to think when you have Omar Brown, Gifford, and all these guys kind of either, in and around the group, that does make you a bit more confident. I'm talking about leading a team in leading a defense.
And I can tell you from a coaching standpoint, I always preferred that my leader was in the middle of the field.
Right.
And I didn't particularly I'm only as good on the outside as I am up the middle. So as you said, a tackle has to be one of my guys.
Right.
Middle linebacker better be one of my guys. Yeah. And then back end, I need somebody, the smartest player on the field better be in the back cleaning up everybody else's stuff.
Yeah, you need a combination of guys. I mean, we're both right, but as far as leading a team, Nick and those guys have everybody's ear because of the work they do. And now they're playing and all.
And I like Nick. I mean, I said weeks ago that Nick and Luke would determine how the season goes. Like we'll be able to look at their success and say, yep, Nebraska had a good year, or nope, they didn't. Because if the moment they went down a year ago, we knew it can't be the same. It can't be the same. It's important. Coach Rule said today, everybody trusts Nick Henrich. Okay. Bravo. You trust him. You believe in him. But I'll follow that up by saying, would you be surprised if he didn't finish the season?
No, but you can say the same about Buford. He got hurt. He been hurt.
I fully agree.
Right. So I
100%
mean,
I agree.
You can get some dumb luck and all that other stuff, but there's a difference between being injured and the ability to play hurt. That's, I think, where you're missing it.
Okay.
You can say when you're in, like if I went out there and I got rolled up, like when I got rolled up on and broke there's nothing I could do about that.
Well, you made 938 tackles.
But playing playing with a dead arm or something, I'm gonna answer the bell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's different. So I do think though, there's a sneaky inclination before we go to break that there'll be more guys answering the bell, because you know what? That bell is ringing awful loud right now.
Opportunity.
Because you know what happens if you don't answer the bell? There's somebody else that comes and answers.
Gotta go.
Yeah, we're gonna go to break. Come back. Short segment at the end of the hour. Jay Foreman, DP. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock, or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Koppel's big summer sales event is kicking off into high gear with lots of fantastic offers still going on. We got 0.9% interest rates and trade-in bonuses on select new models. I know it all sounds too good to be true, but yes, 0.9% interest rates right now at Koppel. Also ramping up our back-to-school vehicles, and our pre-owned inventory is filling fast. We've got great new pre-owned and GM certified units ready to roll. So stop on by the dealership or online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Proud to be voted Best Vape Shop.
Generation V.
Is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore with the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E6 contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards Luncheon on October 6th in Lincoln. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Join the judgment-free zone today. Deal ends Thursday, August 10th.
See Home Club for details.
If you're an electrician, we've got a career for you. It's a career with employer-paid health care and retirement benefits. Join the IBEW Local 265 family. Work for one of our NECA contractors. Come to our job fair on August 3rd from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Holiday Inn, 2500 Tamarind Ridge Road in Southwest Lincoln. For more information, call Mike Murray at 402-875-1034. That's 402-875-1034.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Quick segment before we get to the top of the hour, 5 o'clock hour.
We got to give away some salt those tickets. We have some.
When's the game?
We have some for tonight, tomorrow, and
tonight
and tomorrow, and 3 games.
You got to think we're going to give away 3 sets of Salt Dog tickets in the 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah,
we're going to probably have the easiest trivia questions made to man because I'm not allowed to do them anymore because they're too hard.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Ivy League, calm down.
No, it was that I just like doing it.
Master,
I always
Professor
listen
Foreman.
I always listen to
Professor Foreman.
Shut Up Sipple and their game. So I always try to do it. But a funny story about conditioning and being overweight. And so when Nebraska, we had media guys, and then so Boyd Epley and those guys sent a workout, weights and all this stuff, you're supposed to do before you get here. Kind of you do their program because, I wasn't down here for the summer. I was just showing up, whenever freshman camp was. The weight part, that was fireplace starter and grill start and stuff. I was like, I ain't lifting no weights, But one thing I was not gonna do, because they emphasized. I remember I got the letter and they kept talking about the 300-yard shuttle, and it was 3 different times in this letter, like, you need to pass this, right? So the light bulb went on. The one thing I wasn't gonna do is come down here and not make my times, right? So I ran distance. I practiced it a few times. Had my best friend Jamal time me or whatever. And so I was prepared for that. You know what I mean? I was really prepared for that. And one of the better players that we had in our class, or at least when I watched the VHS tape, was a guy named Dave Reddick, right? And he was kind of like a wing back from somewhere in New Jersey. And and when we ran it, it was hot as all get out outside. And that's something that you can't train for, is the heat, right? So when I did it, I always gave myself a couple more seconds just in case, So Dave, must have been chilling all summer, right? But his parents had came down, with him. And I'll never forget, he was laid out on the mat and he had called Earl a couple times, right? He had given it up big. And I was just like, you get so tired and your legs get so filled up with lactic acid. I just want to get back to the locker room and not show my weakness and just get in there, because we all were tired. I was just relieved I made it. And he was giving it. And I remember his dad giving him the business. He's like, see, you thought you was cool all summer. I told you should have been working out again. And then Dave was he's like, I know. Blah, kept throwing it up. Finally, he got
learned,
but he passed it the next day. So when you think about it, and Dave ended up being pretty good. When guys throw up at practice, I don't ever think practice is that hard. I think guys don't hydrate right. So it's like this, right? When you talk to your kids, you coach and DP, when you say, hey, man, look, we got 2 games this weekend, or 2 games on Saturday or Sunday. We got 5 games this weekend. You got to hydrate. You know what they think? All right, I'm drinking my Gatorade on the way to the game. No. Too late. So a lot of those guys that throw up in practice, and I've been in some Dom Capers practice where I was close, and it wasn't because of the practice tempo. It was the heat, right?
But the other side of it is too much too much Gatorade.
Right, and what?
Which
is
like,
there's a thin line, but I've seen guys eat on the way to practice, and I'm just like, oh yeah, dude, you ain't making it in this heat. I just like, yeah, you ain't. I want to be light or eat. I'm trying to eat 2 or 3 hours before, and strategically hydrate.
Practice, empty stomach, man.
Yeah. And ice
recipe.
Yeah,
look, man,
cooking.
Look.
And ice towels and stuff like that. That's where you see a lot of guys give it up, where they didn't do it. Piss poor planning equals piss poor performance.
Hot practice, empty stomach.
Yeah, you gotta have the right amount. You can't overeat. And so when you're watching it, I've been watching a lot of NFL networks and looking at training camps and stuff like that. And the elements are on people right now. Because they did the Dolphins camp.
You know what? I hate 2 days. There are very few things that I can use the word hate around, but 2-a-day practices, whether as a player or a coach, and I had the big afro back then.
Yeah, see, you got to preface it. We went through real 2-a-days.
See,
what they do right now is Club Med.
Yeah. Just look. You talk about just.
You ain't got
I would ask the question, what are you thinking, Derek? Bruh, you putting this extra big cap on your head.
Yeah.
So then finally my sister was like, well, let me cornroll it, and at least it'll sit down. It did, because the sweat ran off.
Yeah, and you're aerodynamic too.
Yeah, it helped.
Yeah, I mean, it's you make some concessions in training camp. You do some things you normally wouldn't do because
my coach hated it.
Because you got to get through 2-a-days, and you can't you actually got to try to find a way to get better. But good first hour. We're gonna send it to the break, and then at the top of the hour, we're gonna dive into some more Husker news, because all Big Ten has started camp now. And Austin, correct me if I'm wrong. Do we have football Thursday?
We got NFL preseason action on Thursday.
Hey, there it is. Finally, I guarantee I'm gonna watch the whole game, even when the dudes that ain't gonna make it in there, because I've been dying to watch football. This is Jay Foreman, DP. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and Jay. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
proud to be voted best vape shop.
Generation V.
Is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore with the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E6 contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Join Rashawn Jackson, Terrell Farley, and Jake Bachhoven for the Captain and Ticket Water Cooler this Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the brand new Club Pilates studio at 84th and Holdridge. That's this Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Club Pilates at 84th and Holdridge.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? Big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Sauter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals. Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 6th in Lincoln. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it.
That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back, 5 o'clock hour. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin on the 1s and 2s. This is Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, certified Piedmontese, special ingredients and butcher shop, located at 84th and Havelock. And also there's one about 30th in Yankee Hill. I got it right this time, not Pine Lake, but Yankee Hill is open. So you can get you coming in from Waverly and going out to Firth. So please stop in and see them. But I wanted to touch some more on Husker Camp and what it's like in the first week. The first week is, working out the kinks. It's still competition. One of the things I heard on early break with Sip and Jake and Bill was H2 Hummer. Heinrich Harburg was getting second team reps. And that's just in what they saw in the little kind of, I call it pat and go. But you can find some things. You're not going to go out there number 2, and maybe they're switching off, right? So that you can't read into it too much, because I've been in those competitions where, one guy will get this, this set today, another one the next. So it'll be interesting to see how things have changed or if they've changed after a few practices.
Who's your number 2?
You know what my answer is.
Austin, who's your number 2?
I don't got an answer. I just, what type of diarrhea you like? Explosive or the one that lasts for a few days?
My number 1 is Jeff Sims' throwing arm. My number 2 is Jeff Sims' non-throwing arm.
He's back there running left-handed. Right,
yeah.
Run, Jeff!
I think if I had to pick one guy, I mean, really the safe pick would be, since Chubba actually played, you could say, okay, since you've started a few games, you would be the number 2.
Text line, let us know.
But
who's you have to go to the Rock. Who's the people's number 2?
But here's the thing.
Who's the people's backup?
Even with Jeff Sims playing, I would always, even obviously Jeff Sims is a starter, I would have a Heinrich Harburg package right now. Number 1,
to play them both no matter what happens.
So the reason why is because once you get down there in the QB, guaranteed QB run game, we know he can do that well, or we expect he can do that well. You take the direct vicious hits off of Jeff Sims. You can probably put in a little bit of easy passing game for him. We've seen that against us in Minnesota, up in Minnesota, and we've seen it this year by their starting quarterback this year. So I feel that you can tiptoe around this real quick. And so I would have to see Harburg. Well, actually, I need to see the same thing with Chuba. I have to see something.
It isn't.
I ain't seen none.
Well, I would still ask the question.
And I ain't seen none out of nobody.
Well, we've been talking about that. We talked about it before. And when I said it was Chuba, everybody lost. Everybody got all mad. Like, why not Harburg? And I said, well, listen, I have my reasons. One, what I know versus what I don't know. And I get it. But then I asked the question. You just made a point that's brilliant to me. That you said you should have the easy package in for Harburg, something that he can do well. If it's an easy package, you better have it in for everybody. Thank you. Right? Like, Jay.
I always say, one thing I will say about Matt Rule, or I assume, and I guess my guesstimation, and from the little that I've talked to him and kind of, my read on him from afar is, and this is the whole staff and obviously led by him, right? So we'll just talk on Matt Rule and staff, is that they will use the whole roster to the maximum. Meaning,
I like this text for you.
They will, at least if DP can give me 5 good plays, running stop routes or blocking, you in there.
Yeah, I might get a field goal out of the drive as long as I don't give it away. The text says my number 2 is Anthony Grant running the Wildcat.
Maybe so.
Yo, wild. Look, this football season still has its new coach smell. Like, it's just like, and everything is.
Anthony Grant ain't whatchamacallit, man. Listen, everybody is on notice. Okay. Dead serious.
Gabe's the dude.
No. Everybody's on notice.
Huh.
I mean, are you kidding me right now? You
Who's
gonna
the dude?
you gonna put Gabe Irvin out there?
Who's the dude?
No, I mean, no offense against Gabe. You gonna tell me that this dude Gabe Irvin's the dude ain't played in 2 years? This dude Anthony Grant ran for 1,000 yards, and people talk about like it's no big deal.
You see how defenders talk differently about defenders than they do offensive players? Because he just said Nick is the leader, and I trust him. He ain't been out there either.
Well, hold on. Nick had over 100 tackles
last year.
The year before.
Oh, the year before.
And he was going to be leading the team in
I'm
tackles last
sending
year.
Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? You just said that you can't give it to Gabe.
Hold on.
You can't give it to Gabe because he didn't do it.
You can't compare what Gabe Irvin's done in his career to what Nick's done in his career. He had over 100 tackles 2 years ago and was on the way to have over 100 tackles last year.
Nick Austin, please tell us how many tackles did Nick Henrich have last year?
So you can't compare how many. I mean, Gabe Irvin hasn't played at all. Period. He barely even starting.
He beat out
who?
Anthony Grant last year at the beginning of the season. He beat him out. He was the guy.
The answer is 37 in 5 games.
37 in 5 games. Okay.
He would have had over 100. I mean, it's factual.
He didn't finish the job. As Gabe Irvin didn't finish the job, right? That is similar, correct?
No, it's not. It's not even similar. Gabe Irvin ain't the starter. He ain't the starter unless Anthony Grant shows up and just dookies down his leg. Sure. Why?
Gabe beat him out last year. He beat him out last year.
Okay, then how did Anthony Grant run for 1,000 yards?
Gabe got hurt.
Okay, and then so you're telling me
Gabe got hurt.
So when Anthony Grant's running up and down the field for 100 yards a game, you're going to say, okay, Gabe, go in there?
Gabe got hurt.
Okay, who started the first game?
Who
started the first game?
Gabe.
Okay, who finished the first game?
Anthony.
End of story.
Same could be said for the linebacker position. The same thing could be said. Look, you didn't finish the task. Look, and I like the guy.
I mean, it's a little bit, but
we're not being fair. I just want fair and balance.
You're trying to take a 10% and go with 100%.
No,
Nick Heinrich has started 2 years in a row. Gabe has not started any games.
You took 42% and turned it into 100%.
I'm taking a full season plus 5 games. Plus a guy that had 5 carries. And then so what you're saying is that you're going to take somebody that's never played. So let's just say like Garrett Snodgrass and put him in there over Anthony Grant. Gabe ain't done it yet, man.
Anthony Grant, if you when you tell me that Grant is the man, and I'm good because remember there was still another runner and then another runner last year who were all in the same space. Yant's not in the conversation. The young brother that was the backup who also put no. But let me finish the conversation. Who's Austin? I'll talk to you. Who was the 1-2 punch that Grant couldn't keep off? That Anthony couldn't keep off the field last year. There was another runner before he got hurt. Right? There's another runner who transferred away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? No.
AJ Allen.
AJ was there.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's all
now
relevant.
we can have a conversation.
See, all of it's relative.
Now we can have a conversation. We had the 1-2 punch of Anthony Grant and AJ Allen, and that's the conversation. That's a conversation I can roll with.
Okay.
The other one, not so much.
Okay.
Because AJ Allen is that dude.
Okay.
Or was that dude? Now I don't know what happened.
Who was better than both of those dudes a year ago?
Better than nobody.
Since we're talking camp.
Nobody.
The dude that beat both of them out.
Nobody. Listen, I can tell you this.
Gabe
right
Irvin
now.
beat them both out.
I can tell you this for a factual.
Gabe beat them all out.
With my own 2 eyes, and I got LASIK. Them 2 dudes was the best dudes start in and in between. Period.
I'm just saying Gabe beat them out for whatever that was.
Now I can talk.
And I like having that dude on the roster.
I like Gabe.
I like having that dude on the roster.
I came in here and told you 2 years ago Gabe looked like he was more ready to play, but Anthony Grant nor AJ Allen was.
And
up in
I
here.
believed you. Now you telling me you was wrong.
No, I'm not. I said 2 years ago when Gabe Irvin came in as a freshman, he looked and performed like he was ready to play.
Doesn't he look that way now?
That I ain't seen him play. That was 2 years ago.
Okay.
But 2 years ago, neither Anthony Grant or AJ Allen were on the roster. Last year, they was. Because the thing that Anthony Grant does so well, AJ Allen didn't do well. And AJ Allen was coming in slicing and dicing folks. He needed some more milk and his collarbone got broke.
If Anthony Grant is the guy, if he's RB1, I'm happy. I'm thrilled.
I mean, Gabe gonna get his run.
I'm excited. I'm totally excited.
He gonna get his run.
And then if you also told me that based on this year's camp and the things that we've seen and the things that we hear, if you tell me a week from now that Gabe Ervin is RB1, I'm not gonna be mad either.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be mad, but I got to say, I mean, look, man. If Gabe Ervin beats Anthony Grant out, more power to it. Anthony Grant gonna get some carries because the one thing that he can do is carry the football.
I'm
I mean,
remember we had the Ramir Johnson conversation.
Yes, we did.
Right. We had this
conversation.
is what camp is for. Because ultimately, all of them started dead even, and then whoever has the best 23 days will lead them out of the field and be in that first group in Minneapolis. The reality is, if what folks said happened in the offseason worked, if it actually happened, and that Gabe's work is everything that they said it is, and it appears to be, then that competition is legitimate. What I don't want to do,
it's legit.
Okay,
it's legit. They're not handing him anything.
Okay,
I'm talking about carrying the rock, though, man. Okay, there's Anthony Grant's he's a pill carrier. He carries the pill.
I'm just
he's a
camp.
pill carrier.
This camp has a new coach smell.
But if he comes in, if Anthony Grant comes in there half stepping, you know what he's gonna be doing? He's gonna be looking just like me and you watching the game.
Watching the game next to it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm
it.
just gonna assume since Anthony Grant already had his first hiccup and seems to be more focused, it's gonna be Anthony Grant starting, Gabe Ervin being the number 2 back, and if Gabe starts to surpass him, then Gabe would be in there. Gabe gonna get his.
But we heard the running back coach say, "You're not doing the things that need to be done." Right? They actually had a conversation with him about it. Right?
They suspended him about it.
Right. That's what I just said.
I just here's what all of these positions, and it's beautiful because again they're all in the same pool.
But people's jobs are on the line though, right? See. Playtime. See, I don't got time for playtime. See, this is football time. See, playtime is in the spring. This is football time. Okay. This is wins and losses. So this is when you got to really be able to get down because you might want to be play games. Okay. And you get out there and dude out there running sideways and you got the dude over there can carry the pill. See, then I got to come see you as a defensive
I'm going to read
captain.
from with the texture since you just said he running downhill. This is what the texture said. Anthony Grant better quit playing Dancing Queen this year. Put your dang head down.
That's what I'm right here. Hey, I'm rapping. I'm right there with you.
So
stop dancing and hit it up in there.
Okay, so are we going with what we know or are we going with what we think we know? Because that's what this is all about for me.
All right, man.
We're going by what we know.
Captain Chaos, man, but I'm just telling you, man.
No, it's just I love getting Jay frustrated. I love getting Jay frustrated because
I'll turn the TV off, man.
Because I still want to know.
Man. I'm not trying to hear. I'm just not. Listen, everybody has to be tired of this. I'm not saying that they shouldn't play. I'm not saying they shouldn't play. I'm just saying everything's equal. Okay, that means you've shown up in shape.
Yep.
You're studying your playbook. You're not late for curfew.
Yep.
You're doing everything equal. Yep. Anthony Grant will go out there. Could be, and because it's not just because what we know, it's because he can carry the pill.
So watch this. Who's your starting tight end?
For me, Borkacher.
Okay, see,
I said that, but what you call it? I thought when you asked me, I thought who's going to roll out there. For me, Borkacher, because here's why. Okay. I've seen Borkacher up close. I've seen where he started. Okay. I've seen what he's done. And I know what he's grown into. And when he got a chance, he played. Now, I'm coming out with now. The better question is when I run 12 personnel, who's coming out there? Okay. Probably him and Fedoni. Probably that's who's coming out there. Those are my 2 starting tight ends.
What if it's the Jake Applegate who appears in every Nebraska tweet, video, vignette, conversation?
They only been in practice 2 days. What you talking about?
I'm just going by what I see. I can't. They showed me.
What did they show him on practice for the last 2 days?
This is what.
Look,
Look, they showed Jeff Sims dropping back and he threw four targets at Applegate.
More power to it.
I didn't see Fedoni. I saw.
Listen,
I saw Gilbert once.
I can tell you this.
I didn't see Borkature, but I know he was out there.
I can tell you this. Jake Applegate is a phenomenal athlete. Now, the great thing about, I'm sure he's worked hard to get up to tight end side. I mean, he's a big dude anyways, but get up to where he can play the tight. I mean, it's a different. You're going from blocking, versus attacking, but getting open and catching the ball because he was a receiver in high school.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize that. Now he came as a linebacker and he was a receiver in high school, so I wouldn't be surprised that I guess if he started, that would be a really phenomenal. But I wouldn't be surprised if he played, and this is why. With the unknown of Gilbert this late.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For me, I don't know if I'm going to camp if I don't know if I ain't playing. Because I got to figure something else out.
Well, I think that he's there and because it seems to me, one, that not only does he think he's playing, but two, he put in some work in the last 3 months.
Right. We're talking about heat, but the person that's deciding who he's playing is the unforeseen. It's like Kaiser Soze. It's the NCAA.
Okay.
So now I'm assuming they have an inclination that he's going to play. But let's just play. Let's just do what we're doing right now. Like the game started today. I wouldn't be surprised if Applegate's out there, because he's a great athlete, and he's played offense before, and he has the size and the frame, and I'm sure he's worked hard in the weight room to get up to tight end size. And again, being a legit 6'4", a really good athlete. He was a good basketball player until he, obviously focused on football. So he can he can get in and out of breaks. Then you got Fedoni, and then you got Borkature. You ain't got no little short tight ends no more. You got some big dudes out there that can all run, catch, and all that. And if you're gonna make Jeff Sims' life easy, you give him more options. And the way that you're able to give him more options, one is by bodies and options, but then two is creating the continuity with guys that are just not the known factors. So you have to have a plan for Gilbert and Fedoni. Then you have a plan for Fedoni, Borkature, Bonner, Applegate, and whoever else jumps in there and provide the option. Because if they try to run somewhat of the South Carolina offense I would like to think that they have more viable options at the tight end position that South Carolina had. They had a do-it-all guy, number 44. That was he came over with Satterfield from Tennessee Tech or whatever, and he's 6'4", like 255. He was really good at setting the edge, kind of check release and all that, and they could change the pockets and all that. They didn't have as many options tight ends, but they had dudes at the receivers so they could run the crossing routes and run kind of like I call it levels routes, where they're attacking your zones in either 2 or 3 levels, right? And attacking it as it's going towards the sideline. But if you want to make it easy reads for Sims, give him options. And if you want to be physical on the edge, right? If you want to try to take your physicalness, if you are like, say you're just 50-50 at the line, right? You're not overwhelming them. You're winning some battles. You're not overly physical, or you got some injuries there, right? Or people just haven't gotten up to speed coming off injury, or just get back in football shape.
Yeah.
You can also become extremely physical out on the edges. And you do that by, if you look at Kansas City, when they run their smoke screens, we used to call them jailbreak screens, and you can change up your blocking schemes. You can kind of X block it. You can stock block it. You can fake stock block it, kick out with the lineman or a tight end, and still hit it up the shoot. So you can run different plays with different blocking and formations. But when you got big bodies out there that have the ability to do it, and if they finish blocks, then you can be physical out there as well. But they have some options at tight end. I would say this: besides the number 2 quarterback position, I would say, and the reason why I would say the tight end position is because of the unknowns. Like we could talk about the running backs, but you kind of know the characters. Gabe, Anthony, Ramir, you know those guys, right? So you know who they are, and we've actually seen them play. Whereas like the backup quarterbacks, and Purdy has played, but this run with me here. Back Purdy and the backup quarterbacks, right? And then with the tight ends, we haven't seen them play. And there's also a what ifs of, okay, Fedoni's back in shape, or he's always been in shape, but healthy. Okay, what's going to happen with Gilbert? Because that changes everything. You got a big old body at 275 or whatever he is that can run and set the edge. That gives you a whole different dynamic. It actually takes the pressure off the receivers to have a true number one. That's the third, right? A lot of options. Xavier Betts looks really good, right? I mean, and this is how you know Xavier Betts has a change of mindset and heart. For him to take 21 credits, which is extremely hard.
That's 7 classes.
7 classes. On top of answering all the stipulations that he has to do with football and gaining back the trust and work harder than you have before, and then continuing it after spring when you can kind of lose focus because the season is so far, away, and to continue to do it and show up in shape and then still be that superior athlete lets you know that there is a spillover from school. It's all continuity there, right? And so it's commendable on him where he can be the number one, but he can also be somewhat of a physical receiver if out on the edges, and he gives you options. That's the third one. And they all kind of go together, in my opinion, because there's a lot of options. It's like the tidal wave, like the boats. Who's going to ride the tidal wave and end up being at the top? Remember that game? I think you ride it up and then you get over the edge and then you go back and, it was an old Nintendo game. You got to see who's going to rise up to the top. And I don't know what the stipulations are. What's it going to be? Everybody could point to scrimmages. I'd assume it'd be like a whole practice scrimmages and then figure out after that. But, some guys ain't sleeping that well at night.
Well, we haven't talked about the competitions.
Oh, we're gonna get into that.
Like we haven't talked about at each position, the competitions matter.
It's fierce. I will always wonder, if you be, I've been in those competitions where you be looking at, you be sitting next to dudes, man. You be like, man, I just want to sock you upside your head.
Like, bro, I could take you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna go to break, come back and talk about the competitions and where we foresee it going and what DP would look for from a coach's perspective, right? You guys, what's the separator? That's what the people that are competing want to know. I mean, is it just who makes more tackles? That could be play calling by the offense. Who scores more touchdowns? That's play calling. Could be continuity, right? I might be a better individual player, but we've seen quarterbacks play better. Some quarterbacks just play better, or the offenses play better with some quarterbacks in there. So, Jay Foreman, DP, we're going to hit a quick break, then we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
If you're an electrician, we've got a career for you. It's a career with employer-paid health care and retirement benefits. Join the IBEW Local 265 family. Work for one of our NECA contractors. Come to our job fair on August 3rd from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Holiday Inn, 2500 Tamarind Ridge Road in Southwest Lincoln. For more information, call Mike Murray at 402-875-1034. That's 402-875-1034.
H&H Roofing, established in 2015, is proud to serve the local area, which includes the tri-state area in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. H&H Roofing has a professional team that are licensed and bonded, GAF Master Certified Installers, and an insurance-preferred contractor that will work directly with your insurance company. Also a leading roofer, siding, and gutter specialist. H&H Roofing will service all residential, commercial, and agricultural needs. Go to HNHroofs.com for more information or call 402-359-2546.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Summer is near. Now's the time to clean or replace your furnace filter to get the most out of your AC. Find energy-saving tips at les.com/save-energy.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.671627. Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Arnold's Tavern in Havelock is the place to be this summer, and the best place in town for shuffleboard. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the Shuffleboard Corner. Come on Sundays for Open House League all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Shake off the start to the work week with karaoke on Monday nights. And don't forget, happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m., and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern, in the heart of Havelock.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You like being man on fire. We are back, competition segment, and at the very end of the show, we'll just dive into a little bit of what Aaron and he, it was so cute that he went to bat for his coach. So he did the old Will Smith, keep my coach's name out your mouth. I mean, are you kidding me? Really, Aaron Rodgers, who you intimidate? It's Sean Payton. This is one thing I know about Sean Payton. He will throw hands though.
Sean don't need Aaron Rodgers to say nothing.
And he already apologized for it, but we're into it now, man. Since DP want to dive into it. Oh, I see Austin. See, I know. See this. This is the one thing about Derek Lamont Pearson. I just gave him a new middle name. Actually, I'm gonna say this.
Say the D came out.
Yeah.
This came out.
How I know he loves to stir the pot. That's him. He old Joey Porter. You ever see when Joey Porter usually stir the pot after he get a sack?
Oh yeah,
that's DP. So I said, you know what, man? DP was just so steadfast in what he was saying, right? So steadfast. This was so right about who was going to run their little butt out there. Okay. So I said, man, let me just do a little research, man. Just let me just see where he gets this, right? Just let me just see, just put it out there on the internet, like my mom says.
Yeah.
Get on the internet and find out, right? So I get on the internet, and there's a site that's actually generally pretty decent, right? And I use it a lot during the season when I do some stuff for other networks in Big Ten. It's called RLATS, right.com. You just put Nebraska football depth chart. That's it.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, you're familiar. You feel me wobbling?
Yes, sir.
This dude right here, man. I swear. I go down here. He asked me about Borkature, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the Bud Crawford jab. So I ate it just like Earl Spence, right?
Nom, 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 nom.
Right? Just get like Captain Crunch. Just take this knuckle sandwich with no mayonnaise, right? And then he asked me about Jake Applegate, right? Because Gilbert is kind of not in the wind, but just in the the gray zone, right? So he's on there. He's on there, right? So I said, man, so I just assumed in my mind, right, that number 10 is gonna be number 1 on the depth chart. No. Up jump, like my mom says, up jumps the cat, right? 22 Gabe Irvin, redshirt sophomore. That's why he was so steadfast. Listen, man, this Judy here is just out of control. Okay, flat out of control.
Wild.
Captain Chaos. Then they went, so let me just check the linebackers real quick. Okay, let me check the linebackers. My man Luke and Nick are in there, so they good. Okay. And then when we talked about Miles, right? The joke. And he knew what it was. They got number 18 on second string. See? Yeah, okay. I got you.
It's not like I came up with the list. It's not like
I'm not saying you came up with the list.
It's not,
but you definitely used this list that's somewhat suspect to.
I have. Here's what I can truthfully tell you. I've never been on that site.
Well, you need to. It's pretty good, man.
I've never been on that site.
I will tell you this though. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. They ain't got nobody on Nebraska's thing on here that's draftable. So anybody that had an inclination that you're going to be here for 6 months and go to the league, you best to rethink that.
Right. But see, that's the part that you talk to people and people around those people tell you. So you can listen to other Big Ten people. You can listen to NFL scouts. You can listen to NFL coaches, right? And they all give you a different vantage and perspective. And so then you just accumulate information and then go from there. And here's my thing. You asked me before the break about competition and what I look from a coaching standpoint. And the most important thing is you watch players and try to decide who your guys are going to be. And that those two words, your guys, matters. It matters who each coach, whether it's the group coach, coordinator, or head coach, each of them have their guy. And the pecking order, depending on the head coach, determines whose guy wins. Often, the best player on the team is everybody's guy. It's the easiest one to find. Then, the smartest guy. For smart coaches, that's the guy. That's how you find a Tom Brady. Smart coach doesn't want the most talented guy. He wants the smartest guy. Then, they're tough coaches. They're tough guys. They're linebackers. And you know who they love? Tough guys. They love tough guys. Jay Foreman is a head coach. His captain is going to be a linebacker. Bet
it's not going to be a DB,
right? Out loud,
or Trent
right?
Dilfer.
Right? You know,
right?
He's not going to trust him. He's not going to trust him because he doesn't work that way. So for me,
they got a lot of freshmen on the depth chart, though. I don't mean to cut you off, though.
Trust is the most important thing. That the most important thing to me is preparedness. Being prepared, mentally prepared, physically prepared, emotionally prepared. That's the most important thing to me. The player who, you know what? If I call out a formation, he knows the formation. If I call out a play, even if he's not perfected actually executing the play, he knows the play and he knows what he's supposed to do, because then I can coach him into doing that thing. I can coach him into doing what I'm asking, because I'm not going to ask him to do something that he can't do. Right? If I'm going to run the spread, I need people at each position that do the thing that's required, and then I see them do it. That's what it is. So if I need a downhill runner, I'm looking at Gabe before I look at Grant and Ramir. If I need option running, then I'm looking at Grant. And then if I need to be able to do everything we do well, run, pass, block, all those things, then Ramir is the guy that I trust more than the other two. It depends on what your priority is. That's why I asked Nebraska. We still don't know what Matt Rule and this offense, Satterfield's offense, what play one is. We don't know what your personality, what is the play that is going to be run the most this year, because that tells me the thing that they trust the most, the thing that they coach most easily and best, right? Jay, you're not going to put in a defense that you don't understand. You're not going to ask your linebackers to do something that you can't coach freely and simply. Because if I can't explain it simply, I don't understand it. I don't understand it well enough. So I have to coach from that. That's what we're looking for, is to see not only who they pick, but who they pick tells us who they are and what we're going to be doing. Like when they picked Ethan Piper, what they told me is that they trust him more than anything else. They trust him. They trust him to show up, do the right thing. And there's several reasons. Everything we talked about today. Scott's a new player. Prohaska's been hurt. Corcoran. Like we right?
And
Nuri been out, but he's been out.
Yeah.
Who do they trust to do all the things that whatever they're going to ask linemen to do? Ethan Piper, they trust him the most. Defensively, they trust Luke Reimer. They told you they trust him. Why? Because of all the things that Tony White is going to ask him to do with this defense. Reimer can do most of them well and best. The most consistently. That's what it is. He didn't trust the DBs, as you said, right? He didn't trust him. And then he trusts Jeff Sims. And that tells me, it speaks volumes that you can't pick Jeff Sims to be a 40 throw per game quarterback. You can't. That's not what you're doing. Okay. Right. That then tells me.
Let me ask you this. Then.
Yep.
Okay. Say you got to throw a good game before you say you got to chuck and duck. What are you going to do then?
You're in trouble.
No, we passed that.
Okay.
We are what we are and what we're doing. We in the game. That's the see. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay. All that stuff. That's fine. That's playtime.
Okay.
Okay. What I'm talking about is real deal Holyfield. If we need to throw the ball 40 times,
Billy Kemp the fourth is going to catch 12 passes a game.
No, I'm not. It's not the whole season. I'm just saying
for any game
you're going to have to be called upon to do, because okay, let's just say this offense takes off, or just say this defense takes off, right? Offenses, these coaches in the Big Ten, are assume this is going to be standard pat. They're great coaches, so they're going to take away what you do well. Say we're a downhill running team, and we're pounding you with Gabe, we're pounding you with Jeff Sims, we're pounding you with Anthony Grant. Ramirez kind of running option routes. You even put Emmett Johnson in there. We're beating you up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, listen. The fifth game of the season, they taking that away. You better be able to throw the ball, and it ain't just going to be throwing it in the flats. You better be able to throw that bad boy somewhere, whether it's a go route, skinny post, bang eight, back shoulder, deep comeback, crossing routes. I call it the Colt route, which essentially you running away from a defender, and if you get some linebacker on it, you catch it, hit the sideline, go up strike up the band. You're gonna have to be able to throw the ball.
Then you go to your young speed burners who are going to take some of those people out of the box.
Right. And
you're going to take some out of the people out of support.
And I'm asking you, who is going to throw that football? I don't care.
Jeff Sims is the only guy who can throw that football if we're playing tomorrow. If we're playing tomorrow, Jeff Sims is my guy. He's got a strong enough arm. It may not be as accurate as enough, but if they are boxing me up with 7 or 8 in the box, then I'm going to get all them young thoroughbreds they got, all them young sprinters, and I'm going to say, you know what? Chuck and duck. That's what we're going to do. One, I'm either going to get it to them early or I'm going to get it to them late. There's no time for in between in the chuck and duck. I either need to throw it over the heads, throw it to corners, out of thirds, and make them do the work, or I'm going to go straight down the middle of the field for that safety I'm going to replace that safety with a slot receiver that can burn. That's how you beat that. There's a way to beat.
Oh,
listen,
I know that there's a way.
Like we still know.
They did it in South Carolina,
right? We still know that. Listen, for your 11 defenders, there's 15 throwable spots on the field that you can't cover. With everybody, with 7 deep, you can't cover. So if you bring in 7 in the box, hey, you daring me? I'm gonna chest bump you, and let's go to work. Let's see how good those corners, those outside corners, those outer third corners are. We're gonna see, because I'm gonna take your 6-foot corner and I'm gonna put a 6'5" burner outside there against you. Say, you know what? I'm gonna take my chances, bro, because I can't beat you in a closet. Now I need to get you in the street.
You know, really, what
last year.
You know what the analogy is?
Yeah.
Is I don't know if you guys watched that. What is it? The Netflix show about the PGA Tour. What was it called? What's it called? The something drive, long drive, whatever it is. And it's kind of like the quarterback where they go through a season.
Full swing.
Full swing. So there was a guy. He was I forget, he's from like Portugal or whatever, and he was winning the U.S. Open or PGA U.S. Open. And he got up there on the last tee. Now, mind you, he'd been walking the field, but it got tight. You know, he got up there on the last 18 and tried to, I don't know what it was, try to saw off a drive and end up hitting it in a bad spot. Then he chipped. Then he ended up double bogey, and then he get in the playoffs. So the analogy of what you're saying is, and I like this analogy, and you're not going to be able to do this all season. But this is what Michigan did, but they have the athletes to complete it. A caddy or the Nick Faldo was telling him on TV, you hit driver as hard as you can, even if you go into the hazard and drop 3, you should be good enough as a PGA Tour player to hit it on the green, get bogey, strike up the band, you win your first major. Right? Throw it deep. So the analogy is, okay, if you're going to go, zero coverage or wide side of the field and keep the safety kind of in the middle of the field where you should be cheating over to the wide side of the field. And we have some guys that are tall that are just, can get it, get deep on you. You take your chances with the pass interference or coming up with a 50-50 ball. And if you're close enough to the 50, it's just essentially a punt as long as you make the tackle. Michigan took that type of mentality against Ohio State, and it actually became part of their offense. Now, what they missed the opportunity on was dial it back and let's get back to, the bully, Broad Street bully that we need to be, and tried to do that with TCU. Them boys like that game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you lose. So you have to be able to pull that in. You got to be able to go to that type of, person or that type of offense periodically, when need be.
You got to have everything in your bag.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's the whole point of it is that, they have the bangers, the short guys who are possession receivers. You got big tight ends, you got felt tight ends, you got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then what you hope is that Jeff Sims can clean up a lot of mess. You hope
he could be the equalizer, because a quarterback that, and this is what I think sometimes people can miss, and we'll go to break here also. I know you're always looking at running we're up, but the great thing about a quarterback that can run timely, right? And if you want two better examples, or two really good, or 3 really good examples of quarterbacks, and there's different ways they went about it that were so effective in the pocket and running. Dan Marino early in his career before he had the major knee surgery and they didn't have the surgeons and the technology now and the Achilles, and even after that when he could barely move, the ability to climb in the pocket and move in the pocket efficiently kept him alive, and that's why his numbers were so astounding his whole career. Tom Brady as well. Never going to be a great athlete as far as running a 40. Again, a la Dan Marino, can move in the pocket, but guess what he did sometimes? He made those timely runs, the first down. He juked out Brian Urlacher that one time. Every big game he was making a first down. That's the quarterback. Russell Wilson is just like that, right? Russell Wilson.
Josh Allen's like that.
Josh Allen depends on that a little bit too
Joe
much.
Burrow is going, right. and the moment Joe Burrow does it, the Bengals win the Super Bowl.
Right.
The moment he accepts that there's 12 plays a season, 12 plays. That's the difference between Joe Burrow right now and Patrick Mahomes.
And you know who else is like that? That might be still playing, Austin, and he probably would have never been on your team, is Matt Ryan. If Matt Ryan would fall in love with the check down or had a timely run there, New England doesn't come back. I think if they take that approach with Jeff Sims and then use the quarterback run game with Heiner Hardwork and him as an off-speed pitch per se, and not your fastball, I think he has a better chance to last all games versus coming out running him a la Tommy Frazier. He's just not built for that. So great segment, great stuff. Jay Foreman, DP, we're going to give a little bit of Aaron update with the Jets because they are on Hard Knocks this year. This is Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Proud to be voted Best Vape Shop.
Generation V.
Is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore with the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Summer is near. Now's the time to clean or replace your furnace filter to get the most out of your AC. Find energy-saving tips at les.com/save-energy.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break, and on behalf of the entire 93.7 The Ticket team, we are excited to announce this fall we are teaming up with Husker Extra for the Big Red Brunch. We'll have big names from now and the past from Husker sports, and that all starts on Wednesday, August 9th for the Big Red Brunch Golf Scramble at Tiburon Golf Club in Gretna. Sign up to play today at omaha.com and find the Big Red Brunch tab. You won't want to miss this on August 9th at Tiburon in Gretna.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Thanks to cloud cover, those temps were a bit on the cool side this afternoon. As we head into tonight, we'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies. An overnight low down to around 71. We will see a chance of showers and thunderstorms very late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Clearing skies expected by tomorrow afternoon with a high of around 85. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You know what I mean? That's like really sliding at home and you ain't even got to the dirt yet. You know where the grass is at home plate?
Yep.
That's when you start just sliding. It's like the catcher's egg. You know,
come on in
here. Let me tag you out.
Come on in here. I got you.
But I want to touch on it quick. A lot of NFL news, and obviously in camp is, full head of steam. We got game on Thursday. But the funny thing about it, I wanted to ask you guys, Aaron Rodgers restructured his contract. Obviously, he had to help the cap out because he got his whole posse there. But he never fully commits because his quote was, I can envision us having me and the Jets having a partnership for a few years. I can envision. It's like, do you want to be? I mean, I always wondered, like, do you? I know he's really good with the media and all that other stuff. Are you non-committal because you want to get another trade, or are you having buyer's remorse because everything's set up for you to be somewhat successful, I guess, right? But why would you not commit past 2 years? And I can say, hey, look, I can visit at least 2 years. I'm going to be here.
Have they not met Aaron Rodgers?
Well, this is an Aaron Rodgers thing to get your guys' point.
Yeah, that dude dates. That dude don't marry. He letting you know we ain't married. This could be great, honey. This could work. If it don't,
but
I'm gonna do you like I did the last one.
But let me ask you.
I'm gonna bounce.
Let me ask you guys this, right? Let's be honest. The Chiefs most likely will be Chiefs or the Bengals, barring with Joe Burrow. Maybe the Bills and whoever else. They're a little bit ahead. The Jets will be in the playoffs in the mix, maybe, right? Mm-hmm. But let's just say that a successful year for the Jets would be making the playoffs and
winning a game.
And I would say winning a game. So you get to the divisional round or whatever it is, or maybe even the AFC Championship, right? Mm-hmm. I don't envision them beating.
They beat Pittsburgh in
or
the Chargers in the wild card, and then they go lose to Kansas City.
Right. I don't envision them beating Kansas City, all things equal.
Yeah.
So that's a very successful season with a lot of new and moving parts, right? Yes or no, I guess, however you want to answer it. Everybody knows that's a successful season. Mm-hmm. Do you guys believe Aaron Rodgers will be like non-committal? Like he'll be back. You'll hear, okay, well, Aaron Rodgers might exercise his option and be in Pittsburgh. Because if Pittsburgh has a bad season and the Jets do, I know, and we all know, Mike Tomlin wants Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. And Pittsburgh, by that, it would assume that they got the same type of thing in the defense. Do you envision his name would be magically out there in the media as far as going other places?
The Jets are Danica Patrick. Remember when they dated? Remember? It looked good. Felt good, looked good, and chemistry's great. They're all that. Till he found out something, and then now he ain't with her no more.
So your answer is yes. What about you, Bob?
Yeah, I mean, his name's always going to be out there. I guess the more interesting question for me is, what would Aaron Rodgers' career have looked like if he had Mike Tomlin the whole time? Would we be talking about Aaron Rodgers the same way? Like, he's not getting another ring. No matter where he goes, he's not winning one with the Jets. He's not getting one with the Steelers. Would he have multiple rings had he been with Mike Tomlin longer?
No, because he'd have been Aaron Rodgers. You could ask that about him and Andy Reid. The answer is the same because Andy Reid wouldn't have put up with it the way the Rodgers has been put up with. He became Aaron Rodgers because he didn't have
how he was handled.
Because he didn't have a Tomlin or Reid to go. You know what? No, bro.
Yeah,
like no, Aaron.
And it's weird. And Green Bay was perfect for him. Because he won a Super Bowl with him. There's not a lot of media coverage. It's kind of a mom and pops thing. And they, is fast or weird as Brett Favre retired, unretired, went to the Jets, went to the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers was, again, the hero, and he left the villain. Now he's in Gotham City, and we'll see what he is. I just am wondering and waiting to see the first time he plays bad.
In New York City.
And in the New York media.
Oh,
and they don't care.
They're going to light him up.
Light him up like a
They're going to light him up. Well, just think, Green Bay, they'd gone through this before. They went through it with Favre. Yeah. Same thing applied. They did it with Mikowski. They did it. I mean, listen.
Dang, he went Magic Man.
Right. Like they went back. I mean, this is what they did. Okay, we understand it. You build them, then
Dang,
send them
you
out
know,
into the
you
world.
almost went Glenn Dickey on him.
Oh, look, John Hadel. What you talking about?
All right, man. Old school. We out. DP went old school on them Green Bays, man. We out of here, man.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM for 93.7 The Ticket.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Koppel's big summer sales event is kicking off into high gear with lots